What is up, my fellow patriots? Happy 4th of July out there. I gotta put this out before the fire alarm goes off. But it's been almost a year since the summer plant video update, and we are going to continue the tradition with a second year in a row with a special 4th of July version of the houseplant update. So, with that said, I got a lot of plants to get through, so let's get going. We're going to start off with a trio here. I got a couple of returners from last year, being the young rubber tree and the ZZ plant. Both of these have... Well, the ZZ plant hasn't grown that much, to be fair. I took out almost all of the dirt that used to be in this pot. So it's been doing a lot better since then. It was just, the pot was just way too big for the plant. And I think it actually has grown a little bit. So it's doing much better. And then the returner here is our younger rubber tree, which has a lot of new green growth. So maybe we'll get a close-up of that. But I'm using these sort of chopsticks to be a stake here because I recently moved it. And the top half of the tree is much thicker than the bottom half of the tree because it's thriving a lot better in the new growth area after I moved it. So that's pretty good. And then in the middle here, I got this, I think this is a Dracenia. But it's not actually in this nice woven basket. It's in this pot here. This pot here. But I think it looks a little bit nicer in the basket. So this one's really brand new. I think I've only had it for a few weeks. So it hasn't really done much yet, but... Oh, jeez. I've had to put the table so close to the couch to get the pots in the frame. Next, I got a couple trees to my left and the right. This is my older rubber tree. I think you can see most of it in the frame. We'll maybe get a zoomed out shot so you can see, because these are the tallest plants I have. And here's my money tree. Both of these are in new pots, so they're looking pretty snazzy in there. But yeah, especially this rubber tree, has grown so much compared to last year. It is getting a little ridiculous. And the money tree as well. I mean, honestly, one of the three twines tangled together died, but since then the other two remaining have just taken off. I gotta look at the ceiling almost to see how tall this thing is, so we'll see if we can get about a bit of a backed out shot so you can really see what I'm talking about. Okay, I got another 3 plants in front of me here. This again this one here is some other type of Dracenia. It's my oldest plant. It's I think it was the same case last year where it's the last surviving plant from the first generation of houseplants. And it's still going. I put it in a smaller pot. Actually, all of these I've put in smaller pots. 1, 2, 3. Because they were not doing well in bigger pots. I was a little too ambitious with the pot size, and since I've downgraded them, they're actually doing a lot better. This one in the middle, the zebra plant here in the zebra-themed pot, I basically almost killed transplanting it. I got most of the root ball, just accidentally chopped it off, but it's hanging in there, and it's doing a lot better even with that taken into account. So, yeah, these 3, really happy I downsized them. I think there's something weird with the water on this one. It needs, filtered water, but I'm too lazy to do that. Check out my snake plant, the older snake plant. It's ginormous now. It's almost off the camera. So it's doing fantastic. I've put it in a bigger pot, and I don't know if you can see this, but it's got a bunch of new shoots coming up. Nah, yeah, you can't see that. But I put it in a bigger pot, and it is doing fantastic. This thing has grown so much. It's absolutely wild. So it's looking to be another mainstay as the years to come, because it's just doing so well, so well. Okay, well, as is tradition, I have to do about half this video because I accidentally tapped the microphone mute button at some point. But anyways, this is my peace lily. It's also returning from last year. It's about the same size, which is fine. I don't really want it to get any bigger. It's got one kind of flower at the top here. It's really shedding a lot of pollen for one flower. I will say that. It's got white pollen just kind of everywhere on the leaves below it. But yeah, no, peace lily, it's still doing a-okay. Microphone is not muted still. Gonna be checking that pretty much every time I pick it up now. Anyways, these are my matching desk plants. I put those above my desk. And I quite like the matching pots that go along with it. They're very colorful. On this side here, I have the younger snake plant. I think I had this last year too. It's grown very tall. It's really impressing me actually, to the point where I'm starting to worry if I can keep it above the desk because it's gonna run into the ceiling. So hopefully that doesn't happen. And over here, I got my aloe. It's a little floppy, I will say. Maybe I need to stake it up, take care of it a little bit more in that aspect, but it hasn't really grown that much. I once had an aloe in this exact same pot that grew ginormous, and this one just hasn't. Yeah, what I got in front of me here is my Survivor Duo now. This one is an African mask plant. I really like the pot that I have it in. But what I did to this one is I just kind of accidentally dropped something on it. So it used to have multiple stalks coming out of the plant. Now there's just one, and the leaves are a little crumpled from what I dropped on it maybe about a month and a half ago. So really just hoping this one survives the season, and maybe next year it'll do a bit better if I don't drop another weight on it or something. Over here, you may remember the prayer plant from last year's video that I accidentally destroyed while making the video. As I was kind of positioning it on the table here, half of it just fell off of itself, so I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully the focus will show you, but this is about half the prayer plant. It's now out of commission. I'll just stick that back in the pot. Looks like it's still there. And it never really recovered from that, to be honest. What I ended up doing is I went snip, 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 snip all along the plant and put each of the shoots in sort of this planter pot here. And did that about a month and a half ago again. Very, very similar timeline to the African mask plant. And since then, none of the shoots died. Literally none of them. They've all kind of established themselves. So I'm thinking I've pretty much saved the prayer plant. I think it's just completely resurrected. I'm going to put it in a normal pot pretty soon. It's fantastic. I'm really, really happy with the prayer plant. Watch, this is when I find out the camera's not recording this time. No, we're good. Oi! This was not the best way to get on this table. Anyways, here I got a Monstera plant. I keep this one on top of the bookshelf next to the very viney plant I found in the hallway, which we'll take a look at in a moment, because I'm not moving it out. I can't speak. I'm not moving that one off the bookshelf. So, but here's my monster plant. This one's really new, and it's doing pretty well. I think it's like doubled in size, actually, now that I think about it. So, and then I have this little copper plant here, and I really like the matching pot that's also very copper-like. And what's going on with this one, if I scoot a little bit forward, oi, scooting forward, as you can see how red it is, maybe, if the camera stops focusing on my face. Now I'm out of the frame, and you can see how red the back side of it is. And the leaves are still pretty red. It's supposed to be red. That's sort of the point of the copper plant. If it doesn't get enough bright sunlight, it slowly turns green. So I'm hoping it stays red. Oh boy. There it comes. Whoa. This is my cast iron plant that I specifically bought to keep in the darkest corner of the room, and it hasn't changed much. It's a little dustier and everything, but no, hasn't changed much. So it's still doing its job of staying alive in the darkest corner of the room, and it's pretty heavy. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. It wasn't supposed to turn on its own. Stop it. What? Nope. Okay. That was just a bit of an ordeal to get the camera to stay there. But anyways, this is my hallway plant. It's thriving. I put it in a larger pot. Instead of the plastic one I found it in, it's now in a real pot. So it looks so much better in a red pot like this. And I've stabbed a sword into the pot. I don't know if you can see it, but it's up here. And I wrapped the vines around the pot because it was getting really, really, really viney, to the point where it was getting a little ridiculous how long the vines were. So I've kind of wrapped it around to give it a kind of a bushy feel. And well, it still looks a little mangled, but it looked a lot more mangled when I first did this, trust me. So it's recovering from what was probably a very dangerous transplant, and I'm just happy that my hallway plant is still thriving. And that kind of concludes the 2026 July 4th plant tour this year. Most of the plants survived from last year, actually, especially that prayer plant. Can you believe the prayer plant is alive a whole year later after what I did to it? And then I snipped it in pieces, and it's doing better than ever. So, looking forward to next time. Happy 4th of July. Almost forgot this little copper plant. I don't know what it is, but the pot itself is like my favorite looking pot. It's got this wonderful, wonderful copper pot looking design, and it's kind of metallic, but the point is, it's a cursed pot. Everything I've ever put in this pot has died. So hopefully, whatever the heck this thing is, survives. We'll check in next year. Okay. That seems like a wrap.